Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary and today's video is going to be a book haul. I've collected quite a few books over the past couple of weeks because I'm trying to fill my bookshelves. I believe all of these books came from Half Price Books. One of them I ordered from Half Price Books and the other ones I went and got at the Half Price Books in Westport in Kansas City, Missouri. So starting with those, first up I have The Therapist by B.A. Paris. I read another book by this author. I believe it was called Behind Closed Doors. And these are domestic thrillers. So this one says Alice and Leo have just moved in together to The Circle, a gorgeous gated community in London. But when Alice tries to get to know their new neighbors, she discovers a devastating, grisly secret about her new home and begins to feel a strong connection with Nina, the therapist who lived there before. Alice becomes obsessed with trying to piece together what happened, but none of her new neighbors want to talk about it. It soon becomes clear to Alice that things are not at all as they seem. So the last one of these books that I read, or the last book that I read by this author, was pretty disturbing, I guess. And it was about a woman who was being kept captive by her husband, essentially in like an abusive relationship, and how she got out of that situation. So I'm excited to see where this one goes. It does have some stickers on it, so I will be trying to take the stickers off. And then once I read this book, if I decide to keep it in my collection, I will stamp it with my book stamp. The next book I picked up was The Dante Club by Matthew Pearl. And I have this on my TBR, but I don't really know what it's about, so I'm going to read the back of it for you here. And it says, a series of grisly murders is rocking the streets of 19th century Boston. But these are no ordinary killings. Each is inspired by the hellish visions of Dante's Inferno. To end the bizarre and bloody spree, no ordinary detective will suffice. Enter the unlikely sleuths of the Dante Club. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Oliver Wendell Holmes, James Russell Lowell, and J.T. Fields, renowned scholars with the skills to decipher the devilish clues. But can this band of bookish gentlemen outwit a crafty killer? A terror-stricken city and their own lives depend on it. So I'm excited to read this. Again, it has been on my TBR in the past. It is blurbed by Dan Brown, which is funny because I was going to say that this kind of reminds me of Dan Brown's like Da Vinci Code series. That series follows a guy who is like a religious iconography professor at Harvard maybe, and he gets called in on cases with murders having to do with like religious iconography, basically. I have not finished that series. I've read the first two books, Angels and Demons and The Da Vinci Code, and then there are three other books that I own. They're over here on my bookshelves. I don't know if this is in frame, but they are The Lost Symbol, Origins, and what's the third one? Inferno, which might be a Dante Inferno thing. So I'm excited about this book. I do want to reread Dante's Inferno and then read Purgatorio and Paradiso. I read Dante's Inferno in high school and I never finished the trilogy, but I think that this would be a fun like companion read of sorts. So again, it has some stickers that will have to come off, but then once I read it, I will decide if I'm going to keep it on my shelves or not. The next book I picked up is a BookTube darling, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a book about a fake celebrity, basically. So it's like this woman is a very famous actress from like the golden age of Hollywood, essentially. And she has never done an interview, apparently. And she decides to do an interview. She's much older now. And there's this one journalist that she wants to interview her. And it's about her 7 husbands. And I believe she has like a love affair with a woman in this book as well. I think I know the twist that people talk about in this book. Like I'm pretty sure I can figure out just based on the fact that I know there is a twist and I know certain things about this book. I think I can figure out who it is, but or what it is, sorry, but I'm excited to give this one a shot. People love this book and I am very excited to read it. The next book I picked up is Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. I do own another book by this author, Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Cosby, and this is a mystery thriller and I believe it follows 2 ex-cons. One is white and one is black, and they have sons who were in a relationship, and then either one or both of their sons is murdered in a homophobic incident, and they go out to get revenge. And I've heard this is very intense, and I'm also really excited to read it. It tackles racism and homophobia and the prison system in the US, and I'm very excited to give this one a shot. I also picked up The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, and this is a literary fiction book that is about these 2, I think they're twins or just sisters, and they're black, but they're very light skinned, so they're white passing. And I believe that one of them leaves their hometown and lives her life as a white woman, and the other one stays in their hometown and lives her life as if she is black, as a black woman. And it's just about their different like paths in life. I love A Sister Story, so I'm very excited to read this one. And I'm excited for this kind of like narrative. It's almost like two paths that the same person could have taken, I guess, even though they're different people, but you know what I mean. So I'm excited to read this one. I've heard really, really good things about it, and I'm hopeful to get to it soon. Again, stickers will have to come off, and I will have to decide once I read it if I'm going to stamp it and keep it or pass it on. I also picked up A God in Ruins by Kate Atkinson, and this is the sequel/companion to Life After Life by Kate Atkinson, which Life After Life is a historical fiction with like a fantastical twist, and it's about this woman, Ursula Todd, who is able to, not even is able to, but she keeps reliving her life up to a certain point. And I believe this book follows her brother, Teddy. Yeah, it says, A God in Ruins tells the dramatic story of the 20th century through Ursula's beloved younger brother, Teddy, would-be poet, heroic pilot, husband, father, and grandfather, as he navigates the perils and progress of a rapidly changing world. After all that Teddy endures in battle, his greatest challenge is living in a future he never expected to have. So I'm curious to see if this one will have the same kind of fantastical twist of him getting to live his life over and over again, or what I guess will come of this. But I loved Life After Life, so I'm very excited to read the companion to that book. And again, I will probably keep this one because I do own the other one. Although I guess if I don't like it, I don't have to keep it, but I'm planning on probably keeping this one. And then the last book that I picked up, this is the one that I ordered from Half Price Book. I don't know if you can even see it on my lap right now, but it's House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. This is the third book in her Crescent City series, which follows Bryce and Hunt. It's like an urban fantasy world. So Bryce is half fae, I think, half human, and Hunt is a fallen angel, and they have like a romance at the beginning, but there's like been a mystery plot in all of them. I didn't love the second book, but I was very intrigued by the ending and the way that it ties sort of into other worlds of Sarah J. Maas's. So I did want to pick up the third one since I own the first two, and I do plan on reading this one. I have not read it yet. I know it came out this year, I think. It came out in like February or March or something. But I'm excited to read this one and figure out what happens next with Bryce and Hunt and all of that, especially knowing where book 2 ended. I'm very fascinated to pick this one up and read it. And I will almost certainly be keeping this just because I have the other two already. And I have them in this edition. So I'm excited that I got the third book in the same edition. I think this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. Yes, the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. It's on the sticker. And I did pick up 2 books that I have already read, but I'm planning to reread. The first is The Toll by Neal Shusterman, which is the third book in the Scythe trilogy. I own the first 2 books, so I wanted to own the third one as well. And this is a YA dystopian series about a world where death doesn't exist anymore. And so because of that, there's overpopulation issues, and there's this group of people called the Scythes who are the only people who are allowed to kill in the society. And our first book follows Citra and Rowan, who are teenagers who are being trained to be Scythes. They're Scythe apprentices. And then the series goes on from there. And I love this series. I, again, plan on reading it for a third time. I've read it twice now. But I did want to own the third book as well as the first 2, since I already own them. And last but not least, I did pick up Damnation Spring by Ash Davidson, which is a literary fiction, historical fiction book. I believe it's set in the 70s. Yeah, it's set in 1977. And it's about a family that's living in Northern California. I can't remember the name of the city, but it's like on the edge of the Redwood Forest, and they're in a logging community. And it's primarily, the point of view characters are Colleen, her husband Rich, and then their young son Chubb. And it's about Colleen's struggle with like infertility and not being able to carry more children to term. And it's also about like DDT and the harmful effects that that causes. If you are at all familiar with DDT, it's like a pesticide that was sprayed in the 60s and 70s, or up until the 70s, and then we found out it was bad for you. And so it's about that. And then also it's about like Rich's struggles to provide for his family, and it's about Chubb growing up and like his observations of the world around him. I really enjoyed this book when I read it the first time, and I think I could like it even more on reread. Again, I like a family story. There is a sibling relationship in here because Colleen's sister Enid is a character, and Enid has a lot of kids, and so we deal with like Colleen's jealousy of that aspect of Enid's life, but then also Enid's jealousy of Colleen and her husband's relationship and their like financial stability. So I'm very excited to own this book. I do love the cover of it, and this one will definitely be going on the shelf and be stamped. I do plan on rereading this at some point. So these three actually, let's say. These three are all going to be immediately shelved and stamped, and then the other ones will be stamped after I read them. So let's go ahead and put these where they belong. Okay, I've just filmed the shelving portion of this video, but I did find another book that I bought. I thought I bought 2 B.A. Paris's, but I wasn't sure. So I also got The Prisoner by B.A. Paris. And this book says, Amelie has always been a survivor, from losing her parents as a child in Paris to making it on her own in London. Now she is building an independent life for herself. When she meets Carolyn, a kind woman who offers her a job at the magazine she works at, Amelie is swept up in a glamorous city lifestyle, leading her to marry handsome billionaire Ned. But then the kidnapping happens. Amelie wakes up in a pitch black room, not knowing where she is. Why has she been taken? Who are her mysterious captors? And why does she soon feel safer here, imprisoned, than she had begun to feel with her own husband? So this is the other B.A. Paris book that I got. Sorry about that. Okay. So I have 3 new thrillers, but I think these 2 are going to go on my small shelf over there. So we'll hold those for now. But this one is going to go next to the other S.A. Cosby that I have, because this is my thriller section, and he is right here. So we'll move this down a row. And we'll put this here. And then I have 3 new historicals to pop up. So Ash Davidson, Kate Atkinson. We'll move this one down a row. Pop this forward. Oops. Let's see if we can do this. Put this here. That way this will go up here. This will go right here. And then Taylor Jenkins Reid. Is Reid her last name or is Jenkins her last name? We'll go with Reid. I hope that's right. Okay, so it'll go right here. Perfect. Great. That'll go there. So we got the new one here, and we've got this up here. Oh, right here, sorry. And then this right here. And let's see what else we got. So this is gonna end up here, but I gotta move some stuff around to make that work. So let me do that, and then I'll show you once it's put in there. Okay, so I went ahead and moved these 3 down here to the second row of fantasy, and I just popped that one right where it belongs. And then the toll is gonna go up on this shelf next to this. I don't know if this is still gonna fit here, so we're gonna do some moving around and see what we do. So I'm sitting on a chair right now, but I did manage to stick that up here, and this still fits. It's just at more of an angle now, so that's where that will go. And then the last thing we have is this Vanishing App. Ignore my slippers. And this is gonna go on my general fiction shelf. So let me stick it up there. It's Brit Bennett, so it'll be the first book right here, but I've got to move some stuff down to make this fit. So that goes there like that for now. Hello, this is my Christmas tree, so I'm sorry about that. But now we are over at my mass market paperback shelf because I'm going to shelf these 3 books. They all go right in order, so that's perfect. And I went ahead and made a space for them here. Can you see that? Yes. So it's in between George Orwell and Philip Pullman. So we're going to shelve these like that. They fit. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. You can also go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I am trying to get back into posting 2 videos every week. It's not been successful so far, but we're hoping that we can make it going forward. And I still have these full shelves to fill up. So if you want to see what ends up going on these shelves behind me in the future, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!